Let me make this quick and succinct because few people today want to watch a 10 to 20-minute video on anything. Evil has to be confronted by the strength of righteousness. Otherwise, evil will continue. The process of evil is one of self-sovereignty and pride. Everything else is a means to an end, which is the self for anyone with evil in their heart. That includes other people. Evil does not see the imago Dei. For those who don't know what that is, the imago Dei is the image of God in all people. And that basically, by having the image of God, they're a reflection of something divine. Therefore, they are an end in of themselves. They have value in of themselves. You don't need to have a reason to have people around. Now, because people are a tool, it means that basically they're there for their own interest when there's evil in their heart. Recently, we've been witnessing evil that is so strong that people will give up their lives to destroy that which threatens the self, that which threatens their sovereignty and pride, an evil that spurs rage so intense that the consequences to the body don't even matter. Those two things, pride and sovereignty, are held together by people's identity, whether ethnic, religious, racial, ideological, it doesn't matter. Now, imagine a worldview where everyone is completely incapable of recognizing individuals. They primarily just see identity groups. They see race, ethnicity, religious identity first. In that world, an offense against one is an offense against all. An injustice against anyone is an injustice against the identity, and justice carried out against anyone in that identity is justice against the perpetrator. I actually did a video a long time ago discussing that exact thing, which I can share a link to here. With this mindset, you get a never-ending back and forth destruction of those who are innocent, fully justified by words like systemic oppression, cultural sins, or silence as violence, things like that. What we have seen in Israel in the past few days is a culmination of these things. Evil mixed with a communal mindset that can't see the perpetrator for who it is, take into action. This is what a world where people think this way and have hearts of evil look like. And I guarantee that the response is going to have some of that too. And you will see it coming out of probably both sides, even though we saw it very much on display with what they did initially in this attack against Israel. I've been warning the world around me for over 20 years that we were headed this way. This mindset would bear fruit, that this would happen. I mean, you can clearly see the results. People celebrating the streets as children, young girls, elderly, even men, all civilians just trying to live their lives were butchered, violated, tortured for the sake of justice. And again, the intersection of those two produces more evil that continues the cycle again and again and again as each identity group continues to enact its justice again and again and again on those who haven't been part of the problem. And it continues to spread and spread and spread. I've been ignored. I've been shunned, had people stop being my friend over this stance. But I will die on this hill. Righteousness does not see people as a means to an end. They have the imago Dei. They are made in the image of God, and to destroy that image of God is an affront to what is holy and righteous. The only time it is justified is when you have to choose between one image and another image, such as in the defense of the innocent or just war. That brings us back to fighting evil. Evil must be stopped, and righteousness can stop it, because righteousness is not being nice. Righteousness is concerned with life and light. It will do what it needs to secure the most life and most light in this world, including destruction, but with a fine point pen and careful consideration. War is not us versus them till destruction. That's a toxic view and an evil view of war. Rather, there is evil on both sides, and it can't be allowed to prevail in either camp. A just war is handled like a hostage situation. Evil has taken human beings hostage, and it is on us to stop the spread of it like a disease, so we can protect and preserve as much of the imago Dei and glory of creation as we can. It is very possible there is more evil on one side than the other. And as an agent of righteousness, you can choose one side over another. That is thoroughly acceptable. But you have to separate yourself from that identity politic in order to make a righteous decision. Otherwise, you become caught up in it and become part of the problem. You become part of the evil and become part of justifying the evil. In the upcoming months, as the world escalates to conflict and tempts you to hate and rage and entertain evil, respond back like the one who knows better, the one who has righteousness in their heart and knows what the true enemy is. In a mindset like that, there is a time for war and a time for peace, a time for unity and a time for separatedness, a time for anger and a time for affection and closeness. I like the image of the knight from medieval Europe. Why? Because the knight was supposed to be a noble. The difference in culture between a noble and a non-noble wasn't supposed to be property or power. In fact, it became that as a way to reward good. Then, in an inevitably corrupt human society, that became a point of contention and suppression of the poor. But its origin was in one who was high-minded. The warrior in medieval Europe wasn't the brute or the thug who only knew violence, and that was his lot. It was the noble who knew better and could be entrusted with aggression. In this upcoming time, choose to be a knight, not a brute. Choose to be a high-minded individual, not someone who is devolved to their animalistic tendencies. Thank you. I appreciate your willingness to hear my thoughts. In the description of this video are several links to articles and videos that I've made in the past, going way back, discussing this exact thing.